It is by and large the president's most awaited foreign trip since he came to power last year. And this official working visit to Washington, D.C. is expected to hugely pay off on the country's economic development and regional security that PTV's Mark Vitalco lays out in this report.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will travel to Washington, D.C. from April 30 to May 4 for an official visit. This aims to reaffirm the special relationship between the Philippines and the United States. According to the Department of Foreign Affairs, President Marcos will meet with U.S. President Joe Biden to be followed by an expanded meeting with key cabinet officials.
The visit will reaffirm the bonds of friendship that give definition and significance to the many facets of the bilateral relationship, underpinned by the close affinity shared with the Filipinos and Americans alike for many years.
The DFA said the president's trip is expected to further deepen Philippines-U.S. political ties. The president will also take up his economic plans, particularly in the areas of agriculture, energy, climate change, digital transformation, and infrastructure.
Discussions on security and defense is a given. It's something that will actually be raised. But I think for this trip, there will be a heavy emphasis in terms of the economic agenda, how the president will actually work to advance his priorities.
The chief executive is also expected to sit down with legislators, major U.S. companies, and business organizations, where he will be able to promote the Philippines both as a trading partner as well as investment market. He will also deliver a major policy speech in a think tank in Washington, D.C. The president will also meet with the members of the Filipino community in the U.S. Meanwhile, the DFA said this will be an opportunity for the president and his economic team to follow up on the earlier investment pledges that he was able to secure during his last trip to the U.S. last year.
Since his economic team will be joining, that could be one of the things that will actually be undertaken by members of the economic team. But I'm sure that beyond what has actually been pledged, there's something that has to follow through, but there will be other areas that will also be explored.
The president is also expected to underscore the importance of having a peaceful South China Sea during his official visit.
Be safe to assume that he will also count on the U.S. to actually support Philippine efforts in terms of enhancing maritime cooperation, upholding international law and freedom of navigation and overflight, and promoting sustainable development of marine resources.
The DFA assured that the president has always been consistent with his directive of promoting the country's interest. This following the latest incident in Ayungin Shoal, where a Chinese Coast Guard blocked a Philippine patrol vessel, causing a near collision.
I think the directive has always been constant, that we'll have to promote Philippine interests. And if there are intrusions, if there are illegal actions that are undertaken in our waters, that we do the necessary action. And from our perspective, that would mean appropriate diplomatic actions, whether it be in terms of the issuance of note per vals, or if necessary, a clarification or a meeting with concerned parties.
Meanwhile, the DFA said the president will also attend the 42nd ASEAN Summit in Indonesia from May 10 to 11. Mark Vitalco for The Nation.